Hi, I'm Randy Wicker. Today we're talking to Father Robert Clement of the Church of the Beloved Disciple. Father Clement, what type of church is the Church of the Beloved Disciple?
Like all churches, it's basically first a church for everyone, but our congregation is primarily gay, I'd say 90% approximately, and we exist for the needs of the gay community, and I am gay myself.
I see. What type of services do you perform there?
Things that you'd expect in any church, religious reverent services, I think very beautiful ones and very moving. Our people are always very moved by what occurs in our church. It's very compelling in the sense of the concept of love that we have, the love of God embracing us all, straight and homosexual.
I see. And where are these services held, and when?
In a beautiful church building at 9th Avenue, 28th Street, and at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Sunday afternoons?
Sunday afternoons at 2, 9th and 28th. Church of the Beloved Disciple.
I see. Now, I understand that some of the services you perform, namely the service of Holy Union, came under a great deal of criticism and attack recently.
Well, it caused some consternation, surprisingly to us, because this is a church rite in the sense of, a church ceremony that's natural, a logical outgrowth of our own people, our community that we serve. People are in love, and they have a right to the expression of this love, and the church acknowledging it is a beautiful thing.
Well, is this a gay marriage?
No, we don't use the term marriage because that implies a legal concept and a marriage certificate and Bureau of Vital Statistics, and we are interested in a church concept which is spiritual, people pledging their love together in the eyes of God and asking the blessing of God. And that's what we're all about. But this was misinterpreted. And when publicity came out in the New York Post, the article said about gay marriages, which is not our concept, but I understand how it caused this confusion. And then the city clerk got into it and started saying we were performing illegal marriages and so on, which was rather far from our minds, but did get into some confusion. And of course, we believe this is something that is valuable for all mankind to affirm their love, and especially for gay people in our community. And we've done it. We will go ahead with it. It is beautiful and satisfying to those involved. It's perhaps I'm over-repeating. It's just there. It belongs. It's part of our culture today in its beauty.
Okay. Thank you, Reverend Clement. And now we're going to go to the GAA firehouse, pick up with the GAA people, and continue to the Marriage Bureau, where I understand an engagement party is due to be held. This is Randy Wicker.
What I want to say is that I'm really scared shitless. I'm one big mass of anxiety, and so if I mess up, you'll know why. Since there are not as many of us as I had hoped for, I think that we have to keep ourselves together rather than spread out right away. Okay. Spokesman for this should be myself and Jim and John Basso. But the thing that I would like to emphasize is that this de-lambdaized leaflet says the issue is gay rights. I want to read the leaflet to you so that you'll know what our tack is. Gay people have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Gay people have the right to their own bodies. Gay people have the right to love. No nation, state, or city has the right to deny gay people these inalienable rights. And no petty municipal clerk has the right to tell gay people how to live. City Clerk Herman Katz has had the arrogance to do this, saying, "If it looks like a marriage, it is a marriage, and I don't care what they're calling it, they're violating the law." We demand, 1, that Mr. Katz keep his bureaucratic nose out of gay relationships. 2, a full public apology from Mr. Katz to the entire gay community. 3, that Mr. Katz remove all suits pending or threatened against Father Robert Clement and the Church of the Beloved Disciple, and gay power to gay lovers. Now, the reason I want you to remember this is that the issue is not gay marriages. You know, I'm sure that when people talk to you in your own rapping with the people around, they'll really be interested in gay marriages, you know, and how do you feel about it? Try and keep it, you know, to the point of gay rights, discrimination against gays, that we have the rights to our own relationships, and that we can't be circumscribed by laws. Pete?
Yes, also, the issue is not Father Clements. And when we're up in the offices, and hopefully people will come from the other offices, we should all be prepared to go up and rap to them just as individuals, but the press will be for these official spokesmen. And the kind of things that you can say is that one reason this is a clear-cut sign of discrimination is that no city official would dream of making a remark about any other minority group except gays like this. Furthermore, that it's a clear-cut case of discrimination because he is either claiming that the marriage is valid and therefore filing suit because it was illegal because it's two men, or he's saying that it's invalid because it's gay. You know, he's trying to have it both ways. It's a lot of shit.
One thing occurred to me as I was walking Hansel this morning, that as I remember the time when I would say to myself, well, I can understand their point of view, blah, 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 blah. Well, I think that we should never understand their point of view. Any point of view which is opposed to gay rights is a wrong point of view, categorically, by fiat and word of God. Okay, now, so the spokesman, as I say, in terms of the press will be Jim, myself, and John Basso, and his lover. And I, okay, now, what I think we should do first, the first thing I think we should do is we should, there are about 30 of us here. About 20 of us should go up into the office to room 265. Now, there's a large anteroom there, and we'll set up our table, and we'll plug in our coffee, and we'll get our cake out, and we'll get the whole shtick going. And about 10 people should go through the building leafleting. We have 2 leaflets. One is an invitation. Engraved on the GAA mimeograph machine. It says, "The Honorable Herman Katz, City Clerk, invites you to an engagement reception for Messrs. John Basso and John C. Bond, Messrs. Steve Kratz and Vito Russo, at his office on Friday, June 4th, 1971, 10 a.m., room 265, Municipal Building. All are welcome, dress optional." And the other leaflet is the position leaflet. I think that they should be given out together. When you hand somebody a leaflet when you hand somebody an invitation, you hand somebody the extra leaflet. We have 500 invitations and 1,000 of the leaflets. Okay, can I have 20 hands? Let me see 20 hands. These are the people who are going to set up. Okay, so everybody who has his hand up now, okay, put your hand down. We're going to go up to the office and set up. Whoever didn't put his hand up is going to take leaflets and start leafleting right away in front of the building and in the building.
I I would suggest the leafleting be done in teams.
Yeah.
Some people haven't tried it before, and it's easier.
Leafleting should always be done in teams. It's makes you feel a lot more secure. Now, the question of the police. This is certainly going to be a much lighter kind of thing than our thing at the Board of Examiners. Now, at the Board of Examiners, the police were called, but there were no arrests made until after the work day. Now, had we chosen to clear out before then, there would have been no arrests. I would assume that the same thing will happen today. I would assume that we will have very little police harassment on this kind of thing. It will, of course, depend on, how evil Mr. Katz is. Now, to be perfectly honest, my greatest anxiety is that we'll get in there, he'll blow his stack, and the cops will come before we have a chance to set up. But I don't think it's going to happen, because this office is where marriage licenses are applied for, and there's a wedding chapel off on the side, and I don't really feel that he's going to want a heavy police action. My feeling is that this is not an issue at this particular time that we want to be arrested for. Is there anybody who has other feelings about that? Okay, so we're going to avoid arrest, which means that if the cops come and they say, we're giving you 5 minutes to get out, and we can't talk them into letting us stay longer, we'll leave with some gay power chants. We'll take our cake back here and eat it. Pete?
Yes, that's what I was going to suggest. We might try to serve the cake in front of the building. To move.
Yeah, I would guess that this won't work, because the sidewalk in front of the municipal building is a very, very busy one. It's very heavily patrolled by cops, and I can't imagine them allowing us to set up and start giving out cake, but they just might. Maybe we could move over into City Hall Park, but I don't think so. We'll have to play that part by ear. Pete?
I think also we have to make capital. If he does call the cops, we have to get very angry and say, this is just what we're talking about. This man doesn't want to talk to homosexuals. He wants to just sick the police on him. We have to do a very heavy number if he calls the cops.
We have our champion anger maker, Arthur, who escalates to hysteria in 1 second. So we really don't have anything to worry about that. Pete?
Are any people going to try to get marriage licenses?
Yeah.
If you want. John, fine. Steve and Vito won't be here. Steve will come down later. He's got to go for his unemployment check. And Vito is having an operation on a cyst on his ear. Okay. Now, a lot of what we do is playing to press. We're going to try and avoid, like, cutting the cake. Hey, Betty, do we have a big knife here? I meant to bring one and I forgot it. Yeah, well, we'll buy one, but I was hoping there would be one here. Do we need a membership vote to buy a knife?
Got your budget.
Okay. All right. So that what I would hope is that the press will come relatively early and we can cut the cake. Have most of you seen the cake? No. Well, it's really great. It's moving. It's heartwarming. And I'm really afraid that whoever is carrying it is going to drop it on the way there, and that's another source of major anxiety for me. So we're going to try and hold off as long as possible on cutting the cake. That's why I asked people to bring donuts and cookies and things. We brought some donuts and cookies, and we'll do what we can in terms of setting up. That's about it as far as I can see. Pete?
Yeah, a couple of other things. First of all, we may end up having to send people out, like, to get a knife or to get napkins or coffee. Anybody who does run out for something, get a receipt so we can keep track of it.
Yes, and don't come back with a knife like this.
Also, I wanted to find out what the plan for entrance was, and I was going to suggest that, similar to the Harpers, we go in very friendly, as though this should be expected that we're throwing a engagement party here, of course, what else, and wait for them to start a heavy number, and then do a very heavy gay power thing, and then, but keep the whole level of it until the cops are called, if they're called, very friendly, get them into our show, don't let them, keep them off balance.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Like a drama.
This is supposedly, aside from my terror, a very up action. We're happy.
Everybody takes some ups.
We're happy, we're friendly, we'll wish good luck to the people who are getting their marriage licenses, and we'll ask them to come over and celebrate with us. And if people are going into the chapel to get married, which I think happens after 1 o'clock, we will, be very friendly and very up and very sweet and very loving, which is not at all phony, because that's really part of one of the things that makes gay politics a distinction, and that is that we can get into some very heavy numbers and do it with humor and lightness and love. Right on.
Yeah, let's set up the table over there. It's a very good table. Where's the table? Out here.
Okay.
Keep them both offices.
All right, keep it in there, Peter. No.
Give me a J! J! Give me an I! A! Give me a Y! Y! Give me a P! P! Give me an O! O! W! W! Give me an E! E! Give me an R! R! Give me an Gay power! Give me an Gay power! Louder! Gay power! When? Now! Here we got the banner. Let's go.
All right, where's the Johnsons? I've got the donuts. Put them in there.
We should start getting the invitations out.
Right.
It's important that you get the invitations.
Where are they? Where are they?
We'll go in the hall.
Peter.
Where's the Marlboro bag and the plastic bag? Someone's making a cup of coffee.
I had this one and the invitations are here.
Have we found an outlet? Yeah.
Pardon?
Oh, I will.
Get that copy. Are there more invitations? Anybody else pick out invitations? Why don't you speak to this gentleman?
Let's go.
Excuse me.
This is a private office. If you have any complaints, you can't stay here. This is a private office.
Well, we're just here to have an anniversary party. Maybe you didn't get
But
the
you're
invitation.
trespassing on private property. You realize that?
Well, I can.
I know you're orderly,
someone
but
speak to you.
you are still on private property. This is a working office. People are working. This is a private office.
Well, we feel we have a legitimate reason for being here. We'd like to discuss it with the people who work here in the office. And
Well, I tell you what,
we
if you wish to
certainly-
do that, why don't you have a representative represent,
We are
not something like this.
representatives
This
of
is
an
a crowd.
organization.
This is a crowd.
Well, there are many representatives from the organization who feel very strongly about a number of issues that we're here to discuss
Well, why
with
don't you make an appointment for it? You can't come into a private
Herman
office and
Katz has
disturb
slandered the
it.
gay community of New York. This is not a question of making appointments. We are here demanding retraction of his slander and demanding that he represent gay people who pay his taxes. And we are not going to take no for an answer from anybody. You want an invitation to our reception? Here, you're invited. This office belongs to us. We are the taxpayers.
You're trespassing on private property right now, fella. So
This
I can
property
tell you.
belongs to the people, and we are part of the people who pay
Not in
taxes.
this office, not the way you walked in here. Not the way you walked in. Let's get one thing straight. You
Let's get one
trespass
thing
on
straight.
property.
Herman Katz has slandered the gay community of New York.
speak to
The
him
gay
through an
community
appointment.
will not take that
You make an
anymore.
appointment. I'm sure that Mr. Katz
We're
will
here.
speak with you.
We're tired of making appointments with people who slander us and who refuse to
Have
represent
you tried
us.
to make an appointment with him?
We do not make appointments with people who
That's right.
slander us. We do not make appointments
Okay.
with people who slander us. We should go to the other floors and out into the hall and get these invitations distributed so that we can have a lot of people come in here. We want to have as many people in here as possible. We have been slandered. We as homosexuals have been slandered by Herman Katz, the city clerk. We have every right in the world to be here.
You're supposed to be having an appointment to see Mr. Katz.
We are paying his salary and he is using his money to slander us. He is being paid by our money and he turns around and slanders us. Don't tell us we have no right. This office belongs to us. He has violated his trust as a public official and we have
He's
come
not
here to hold
violating.
him responsible for it.
Well, you're supposed to have an appointment. He's not violating.
Stay on it for a minute. Just more bureaucracy for me.
I'm gonna take a shot.
Watch the wire, watch the wire. Since when is city, since when is...
I have one, thank you.
Any comment?
What are you taking pictures of me for? You got my permission to take my picture?
Oh, it's a private thing.
Hello, you are ready for the reception.
I read it.
Putting my face on camera.
Herman Katz's office is right over there. You're welcome to attend if you like. Free coffee, cake, donuts. You're welcome to attend too if you like. We're having a reception for gay people in Herman Katz's. The Gay Activist Alliance is having a reception at Herman Katz's office over there on 265. You're all welcome to attend if you like. Here, did you get an invitation?
I don't speak English, no speak
Oh, well, we're having a wedding reception for gay people.
Gay people.
Gay people in 265, right around the corner there. It's open to the public. Room 265, right. You're all invited to come. Wedding reception for gay people, room 265.
Thank you.
Hello, you're welcome to come to our reception in room 265, wedding reception. Hello, friends. We're having a wedding reception for gay people in Mr. Katz's office, room 265.
Call the Post reporter and complain about the story, make derogatory remarks about homosexuals, and file suit against the
Mr. Katz is a
clergyman.
knowledgeable man, and he doesn't need myself nor anyone else to speak
But you
for
just
him.
said that you were, in his absence,
In charge of his office,
But you
yes.
see that one of the things he's doing is he's speaking for us, you see, and we as citizens of this city have certain, what we
No, I'm
feel
not
are
speaking for you.
inalienable rights. Well, yes, you are. When you speak as a public official, you're speaking for me as well as
Just
everybody
saying,
else.
I
And
don't
when
believe
Mr.
it is right
Katz-
for you to come bursting into his office without our prior knowledge.
Well,
what kind of reaction do you think you would get if Mr. Katz had made derogatory remarks about blacks or Puerto Ricans? Would that be acceptable in the city?
And do you think
Certainly
it- do you
wouldn't.
think it
It's
would
not
have-
acceptable for
that the
homosexuals either?
I doubt very much then if the response would have been a wedding cake and coffee and an invitation to a party. It might have been something a lot more difficult.
Mr. Levade, these are the gay activists,
Right.
of which Jim Owl here is the
President.
president. They came through the door without my knowledge. Girls had sent for me, and I told them I don't think it's right for them to come in here to have a party.
Gentlemen,
without our
I ask you
prior
all to
knowledge.
leave presently. All leave presently. I will have the police here immediately. You will all leave. You have no right to enter a public office under any circumstances unless you're invited here. These
We
invitations
have no
were
right
not
to
extended
enter
by
a
Mr.
public
Katz.
office
We
unless
don't
we
have
are
any right to
invited.
enter.
Not
I
to
don't
vote, not
understand
to
that.
do this, not the
Why?
whole
Is that
party.
because we're homosexuals?
Not the
that
whole
we're not
party.
entitled to enter
Not
a
the whole
public
party.
Would we be
Not the
invited
whole
to hold
party.
a demonstration? Would you like it better if we
You're
came
here
in
to
here
hold
to
a
do a
party.
sit-in?
You're to
Would you
hold a
like it
party.
better if we were here to do a sit-in?
You may do as you please in the outer office, not in
We
Mr.
are
Katz's
here
private
to
office.
assert our rights. Our rights as gay people have been slandered by a public servant. You can't say that this is just a matter of having a party. We have come here to demand our rights, which have been slandered by a public official whose taxes are paid by gay people. Taxes who are paid by The time has passed when a public official can slander the gay people of New York and think he can get away with it.
Right
You can
on.
call your
Right
police.
on.
You can call your agents of institutionalized violence. We
This
are here
just
by
proves
right.
the point.
We are here by right, and we are not going to leave.
Homosexuals come in here to
We
talk
didn't
to you,
come here for
and
violence.
you call the fucking police.
We didn't come
That
here for
shows where
violence.
you're
We
at,
came
buddy.
here for a party, and that's where you are.
Right, we have a party to celebrate gay rights. You call the police. Thus does government answer the demands of people, calling the police.
Listen to them. Why don't you listen?
Deaf!
Deaf! Deaf! Deaf!
He's dead here. All he knows is he's a little politician, a little bureaucrat, and that's his whole thing.
Quick, call the
That's
police.
what he can do.
Call the police.
Get the police
Call
to
the
protect you.
Call
Come
the
on, get
police. Call the police. Call the police.
Get the police. Come on.
So what is your name and position here?
None of
What
my
do you mean?
business.
Don't you tell us this is none of our business.
What do you
You
mean
are
it's
public-
none of
How
our
dare you
business?
order us
How
out?
can you say it's none of
We
our
are the
business?
people.
I
Don't
pay your
tell us none of your
fucking
business.
salary, mister.
police department.
Out of my taxes, I pay your salary, and you telling me this is not my business?
My office is being invaded by some...
Gay activists!
Gay activists!
Gay activists!
They know us.
They know us. You better believe it.
That's some people, mister. Some proud homosexuals. Gay Activist Alliance. Don't you forget.
You can get wherever you want except in my office.
Why not?
This is not
Who are you to
true.
tell us what we
How? We
can
have
do?
a right to
We
be
can
gay
be everywhere.
As citizens, we have a right to be gay wherever we damn
This
well
belongs
please.
to gay people. You have no right to slander gay people.
We're here because of slander. That's why
We're
we're
getting the
here.
same damn thing.
Slander is all right, right? Slander is all right.
Give me a J! J!
This is the city
City
clerk.
We need emergency help immediately.
You need emergency help.
Emergency help.
He needs emergency help.
Are you
Emergency.
cats? Are you cats? Standing here afraid to
You
tell
have
us
no
your
guts
name.
to identify yourself.
What is your name?
He doesn't have a name. He's a nameless bureaucrat.
Call the police. Every time the people complain, call the police.
How can you get up in the morning and face yourself, man?
He doesn't.
No mirrors in the house.
I need the help immediately.
You're violent.
You're violent. Lying, violent, vicious.
All right, let's have our party.
Motion
carried.
as well.
Somebody close the door down there.
Mr. Katz has temporarily vacated his office since we have taken it over.
Mr. Katz is temporarily vacant.
You're welcome.
Mr. Katz is always vacant.
Tell him to call back.
Yes, this is information. A duplicate copy for a marriage license for 19... Was it a gay marriage? A marriage of homosexuals? Well, this is the Gay Activist Alliance you just called. We're in Herman Katz's office of the city clerk. We'll be able to give you any information you would like. We're here because Herman Katz has slandered homosexual citizens of New York. And, yes, we took over the office and we're having a great party. Why don't you come down?
Wedding cake.
We have wedding cake. We have free marriage license. We're giving out marriage licenses free. We have a wedding cake here. It's really great.
And beautiful hostesses.
Well, well, the thing is that Herman Katz is no longer in his office, you see. This office has been liberated. So if you want any information about gay people, come down and talk to us in person.
Somebody look in the closet?
Well, I don't know. It all depends on circumstances. You know how these things are. Oh, this is definitely the Marriage Bureau, but it's been taken over by the Gay Activist Alliance.
I'm a secretary. Who wants to located in 99?
No, it could be quite a while. It depends on how long it takes the city to capitulate.
This is examination of
We have all the records here. You know that, folks. We have all the records here. Your mother and dad want to get married? Are they gay? Oh, I'm sorry. We can't help you. No. No, I can't. I'm sorry. But if you come down and talk to us in person, we'll be glad to talk to you. Give you some free wedding cake. And we may even have a gay celebration in the chapel. We have to think about it. Probably. Oh, yes. We'll be here for quite a while. Yes. Oh, yes. Well, that's possible.
The police are going to tell them that.
Okay, bye-bye. There is a chapel down the hall, by the way, if anybody's in...
All together now. Yeah, my brothers and my sisters. To them all. Yeah, my brothers and my sisters. To them all. Yeah, my brothers and my sisters. To them all. All together now. We got discrimination of the city clerk. We got discrimination of the city clerk. We got a discrimination of the city clerk. All together now. We waited too damn long for our rights. We waited too damn long for our rights. We waited too damn long for our rights. All together now. We're gonna love the way we want to. Right on, we're gonna love the way we want to. Right on, we're gonna love the way we want to. Right on, all together now. Yeah, my brothers and my sisters. To them long, yeah, my brothers and my sisters. To them long, yeah, my brothers and my sisters. To them long, all together now. Mr. Katz is the biggest. Go ahead now. Mr. Katz is the biggest. And how Mr. Katz is the biggest. And how all together now. We waited too damn long for our rights. We waited too damn long for our rights. We waited too damn long for our rights.
Any comment?
I just hope they're very happy.
Right on. How about you?
It's terrific.
Have some cake? No, don't take pictures.
He's ready, folks.
Peter, come here.
Proud, right on, my brother is gonna stay in the closet no more. Herman Katz has got to go. Right on. Herman Katz has got to go.
Watch it,
Herman
man.
Katz has got to go.
Any comment?
Herman Katz has got to go. Herman Katz has got to go. In the closet no more. I ain't gonna stay in the closet no more. I ain't gonna stay in the closet no more. I ain't gonna stay in the closet no more. I ain't gonna stay in the closet no more. I ain't gonna stay in the closet no more. We're gonna show them that gay is good. Herman Katz has got to go. Herman Katz has got go. Gonna show him that day is through. Certain cats got to go. Certain cats got to go. I ain't gonna stay in the closet no more. I ain't gonna stay in the closet no more. I ain't gonna stay in the closet no more. I ain't gonna stay in the closet no more. I ain't gonna stay in the closet no more. I ain't gonna stay in the closet no more. More. Where's the tree? Sometimes you gotta change your mind, you gotta take it on yourself. Sometimes when people put you down, you gotta show that they're wrong. Sometimes when people put you down, you gotta say you can't go on.
Wait, why don't I take this out? Yeah, take the donuts out too.
Well, we'll take another.
Oh, come in,
And everybody will get a piece of the cake. The cake will be ready in a minute. Just get some cake.
Glad to see you here. Yes, would you like to meet the happy couple? Where's the happy couple? Hey, ask John and John.
The coffee will be ready.
Come here, John. This is...
Good morning. Better hurry up. But what about this?
Oh yeah, maybe we'll come.
Put it above your head. What do you want?
Doing good.
Here they come. Here they come.
Here come the fuzz. Here come the fuzz. Here come the fuzz.
Make sure you have a spokesman. Have a spokesman. Don't move
We'll move out. This man said that we were being violent. We're not being violent.
I did not say you were being violent. I said you disrupted
Yes, you
my
did.
office.
But you did say we were
I
being
said you were
violent.
disrupting my
You
office.
said that on the phone and we all heard you, man.
You are being violent, screaming, hollering, and calling. My
That's
people are not allowed to
That's not
My people are not allowed to occupy their room.
You don't have to.
You
You can't give us your
make your point. Now, either you made your point or you didn't.
You're no one.
You don't need my name.
Would you like some cake?
I mean, like all of this is because of a wedding cake, some coffee, and some donuts. This is an emergency.
His name is Thomas Renane. He's the first deputy city clerk. Thomas Renane. Remember that name? Thomas Renane, first deputy city clerk. Thomas Renane. The guy from the 4-2 was standing out in front of us.
Free coffee in the other room and donuts too.
Welcome to Coffee and
Have some
Donuts,
coffee and
gentlemen.
cake first, and then we'll talk about it.
Free wedding cake. Look at this beautiful wedding cake.
Are you
$36.
gonna let
for
this go
cake.
to waste? Are you gonna let this
$36.
cake go to waste? Come on now.
City clerk.
All right. You want to handle it? Yeah, we'll take care. Listen, you did all the publicity work. Now you should say it. That's right. I'm going back to City Hall. Back to City Hall.
Thank you, Make sure everyone.
Mr. Lene, see you in Life magazine.
Let's collect our stuff.
Okay, get things together, folks. Where are we going to do this gorgeous cake? Are we going to leave it here?
No. It'll take us a while to get out.
Break it over the bureau's license. Really? They don't give me a license.
Better be yourself.
We're sorry we couldn't give you the cake and the coffee, but Mr. Lenane doesn't think that we should have a party here.
Mr. Lenane does not like
Mr. Lenane is not very nice. He calls the cops against the wedding cake.
Maybe after Mr. Lenane is transferred, we'll come back.
Yeah, he's a damn fool. Look, we don't gotta clean the place up. That's the city's job.
Well, ain't that? We clean up our mess.
I want every...
All right, attention up. All right.
Has anybody seen the box the cake was
I have nothing to do with your personal lives.
Look
out, hot stuff.
Careful, everyone.
Excuse me, please.
James, secretaries necessary in here. Screaming at me. I have no opportunity to perform my obligation. I want you out.
All the law is not the law is what we go by. That's all.
260.
The cake box out here. We have to take the cake with us.
I think that. Excuse me.
Where's the other coffee? Where's the other coffee?
We're not going to leave it for, but you take
Where is the other coffee?
That's unusual.
Hey, where's the other coffee?
So we know what we're saying. Are you taking your people out?
Yeah.
You're leaving now?
That's the end of it.
All right, you made your point. We're in the press. So that's all you're doing, right?
No, that's not all.
Well, I mean, for your purposes right now.
Yeah.
This is for your purpose. But I hate to tie up a lot of police up here with this.
Yeah.
If you intend to leave, then there'll be no problem.
Sure.
We get the people together, Jim, maybe we can go to the office.
All right, everyone who has got any things that they brought in, please make sure that you pick them up. Take any of the leaflets so that they aren't wasted. They can be handed out outside. Someone got the cake in the box? Okay. And we can start moving out. Why don't we start moving out now?
They won't let us out that way.
Oh, good. Bring them this way then.
Having no satisfaction from government, we will take our case to the people.
Come on, people.
Give me a G! Give me an A! Give me a Y! Give me a P! Give me an O! Give me a W! Give me an E! Give me an R! What do you got?
Gay power!
Louder!
Gay power!
Loudest!
Gay power!
Run on!
You're declension's a marvelous Whittier. John, where's little John?
All of you are employees here and wonder why we felt we had to come here. Please ask Mr. Katz what kind of things he says about homosexuals and what kind of discrimination he would like to see leveled against them.
You're missing my Ruby Q.
Coffee break. So we're going to take our case to the public, to the people, and those politicians who don't respond, to the demands, we're going to have them removed from office in the due process of law.
Hey, buddy, you calling us garbage? You calling us garbage? Come back here and say that to a gay person's face!
Yeah, run away!
Yeah!
Just words. He ran.